You know what it takes, and you're ready to dance, to take them all on. You got the measure of your man, and you know that you can go all the way. Give it to him. Yeah, give him a taste. Give him a taste of Kiwi. Show him you're the best. Give him a taste of Kiwi. You're better than the rest.
All right. No My Hockey My, welcome back to another episode of the Kiwi NRL podcast. Tonight in the studio, we have Andre October. How are you, bro? You're good?
Good, mate. Same as every week. Good to be here. Got the call up again, so must be asking some sort of at least one good question a week.
Yeah, well, you're also one of the sponsors, so when you want to jump on, I've got to let you on, eh?
He's in by default.
Yeah, that's it. And then also, through the magic of the interweb as well, we've got the man, the myth, the legend, Corey Lawrie. How are you, mate? You good?
Yeah, not too bad. That's the nicest intro I've ever had.
Is it? Well, I'm glad I could give you a nice intro, mate. Before we get too much further into it, do you want to plug your business, Dre? Since you are one of the sponsors.
Oh, me? Yeah.
Yeah, mate.
He knows how to plug anything.
Yeah, Tummy Hunter Consulting, so immigration advisory firm family based in Mount Maunganui. Obviously look after your visa requirements for anyone coming into New Zealand that isn't a New Zealand resident or citizen. So yeah, just get in touch at tummyhunter.co.nz or andre@tummyhunter.co.nz by email.
Did you pass the police vet check on that job or what?
That's what we do. That's what we're meant to be doing. So, but don't do the checks on us.
Don't dig too deep, eh? All right. And special shout out to Fit Zone, which would by default would be my business, keeping the lights on. Don't forget we're in Matamata, Paeroa, Te Aroha, and Waihi. If you're looking to get started in the gym, Fit Zone, you don't have to pay till January, so you can join up now. Not come all December. Or you can come if you want for free and then start in January. So don't put it off. Get started. And also, while we're here, we've got a few sponsors. We're going to plug Good George Beer. I've got the virtual reality non-alcoholic hazy IPA because I've been trying to stay off the beers. I've been having beers every night being bloody Christmas dues and that. So I'm trying to have at least one night a week off. So virtual reality, just spilt it. Don't forget, online.
You got zeros.
Yeah, the zeros. Beauty. Online, you can get 10% off Kiwi NRL 10 as the discount code. Good George Brewing. But that's enough of that stuff. All the boring stuff. Corey, we'll get on to your story, mate. Where were you born? Where'd you grow up?
Born in Christchurch, long time ago these days, feels like. And just in Hornby, really. Just a Hornby boy and still am a Hornby boy. So there hasn't been much migration in my life at the moment.
Sweet. So, growing up, obviously, we're a rugby league podcast, and you've played a bit of rugby league. When did you first start playing, mate? How old were you? And obviously,
I think the old man threw me into rugby to start with down here. Then he got onto league, so I kicked off the footy career about 6 years old, and obviously it's been a unique journey, I guess, in a lot of ways, and it's probably a wee bit unconventional, but you know, it's been a bit of fun along the way. It's been a lot of heartbreak too, but I guess that's the way it goes with footy.
Yeah.
Which junior club did you play for to begin with?
Hornby. Hornby rugby, yeah. Rugby, then, yeah, just been a Hornby forever since.
Jeez, you're a loyal man.
They're the best kind, mate. They're the ones you want.
What's your what was your first year of Premiers? Because you've been in there for about at least 20, so...
Shit, I was a late bloomer. If I was honest. I don't think I made a Canterbury team from 9s till maybe 18s. I think I only made the Canterbury 18s team because all the boys defected to rugby. So I was a bit of a fucking rope me in, really. So then I probably didn't play my first Premier game till maybe 19 or 20, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Obviously, the strength of the competition and numbers-wise were a lot more healthier back then, so it was a lot more harder to make your debuts back about 50 years ago, I guess.
Yeah, what year would that have been? So Yeah, there's
So,
still probably
I'm
like 12
43
teams.
now, so I took me 4 years past fifth form maths, so I usually have to do the deductions here. So I'm 43 and I'm maybe 20, so 23 years ago.
Shit. Yeah, and how many teams would have been in the comp then? So there would have been about
No, I think it
12
was
or
still
something.
only 8. I
Oh,
think it
was
was
it?
just the stock standard 8, Eastern, and just standard teams. Yeah, a bit before my time, they had like obviously the Sydenhams and the Addingtons and the
Yeah.
Marist, but they were thankfully before my time.
Yeah.
Bit more rougher back in them days. I don't think I would have handled the Jandal back then.
I was going to
Yeah.
say,
Oh,
what's changed the most? What's changed the most from when you were playing then to obviously you're still playing?
Yeah,
What's
I keep saying I'm going up, but
yeah,
I'm like a broken record. I think it's just there's just not enough juniors. There's no juniors down here, and the good juniors are either getting signed or even like the good 19, 21-year-olds are going to play some bush footy in Australia. So
yeah,
there's just no replenishment of players, and obviously rugby have the same problem, but they can camouflage theirs with they got more playing numbers, but we don't. We can't camouflage in league, so they're bringing in the coast team this year. So that that's not a bad outcome, but you're
yeah.
so reliant on your loyal servants that like you get like we had some real good young kids and they move away, and why wouldn't you? Like you go make some bang in the bush, and
yeah,
you don't have to be a superstar to play bush and get paid 3, 4, 500 in job, no kids.
yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Bit of overseas travel. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Like it's so
Yeah.
and that's the problem we have down here. Like I think in Hornby this year we've got 6 kids that are up in Auckland at the moment with the Warriors. So most of them should come back, but by the time they hit 19, they'll be up living in Auckland full time, and
Yeah.
they won't play prems. And geez, you go pick the Warriors system or playing Premier football with 7 teams in Christchurch. It's a
It's,
no-brainer. So you have
it
to
is a
try
bit.
to maximise who you've got and the local boys, and try. That's why a few of us keep playing forever because it's hard to give up.
Don't let the boys down.
Well, that's
Yeah.
part of it too. Like, you feel like sometimes you wish you don't care so much. Like, if you don't care so much, you can walk away.
Yeah,
But my problem is I live and bleed Hornby, and that's probably sometimes a detriment. That I love it so much that I do struggle to walk away, and it probably impacts family life, and because a lot of everything revolves around rugby league come winter time, so it's probably not fair on the wife and all that. But I guess you married me knowing this, so I guess that's put up.
And so, talking about the Warriors, bro. Obviously, you had a bit of a stint up there. How did that all come about? And you're talking about being a late bloomer as well. So it must have been a bit of a journey to get to that point of playing for the Warriors. And when was it? 2008, wasn't it?
2007.
7. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, 2007. Yeah. I don't know. I just went on obviously I don't play premiers till quite late, and then I think I started scaffolding, and that probably gave me some core basic strength. And I think I played Bulls at maybe 23, maybe 22, and then the next 3 years just seemed like I somehow got real good real quick, and surprised. I think it surprised everyone the trajectory I went on. I guess like I think in 2006, I was don't want to self-claim, but I was probably the best player running around the domestic comp there for that year, and I had John Ackland come touch base with me the year before about possibly the Warriors, and I thought, oh shit, that's a bit of a pipe dream. So I made sure I done some weights and put actually a bit of effort into the off-field stuff, and not just pissing up. And then they brought me in. John Ackland brought me in for a meeting throughout middle of the year of that 2006 Bulls campaign. I think we were playing Kernraiser, and he said they were interested in signing me, and he mentioned 20 grand. I'm just thinking, fuck. I've got two young kids and a wife, and fuck, 20 grand's not going to cut the mustard. So I didn't say that at the time, but that's what I was thinking. And then
Yeah, fair enough.
obviously and then I just heard I had to play good against Sam Repair and Lance O'Hire in a Hibiscus Coast. They were playing for Waikawa, and I think I had a reasonably good game, and I think that's what sold Ivan on me. And then we played our grand final against Mount Albert. I think it was. I think we might have lost in the last minute with Fabian Suter scoring a touchdown the last try, and then Ivan Cleary was in the when you enter and going back to the changing rooms. I just threw my silver medal into the rubbish bin, and then I saw Ivan Cleary, and oh fuck, I probably thinks I'm a sore loser now. And I thought, he said, Corey. I said, yeah. Yeah. He said, how you doing? I said, yeah. We want you to come play for the Warriors next year. And I went, probably. I said, first thing I said to him, I said, I can't do it for 20 grand.
Oh shit! There you go.
And yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I couldn't, don't get me wrong, then that's back in them days, they dangled a carrot in front of you, and, a lot of these boys were on trial and train contracts, and they got paid nothing. Obviously, it's all changed now, which is for the better, but yeah, he said, don't worry about that. He said, Wayne Scull will ring me after our Mad Monday, and got a phone call from Wayne, and said, we'll give you 40 grand, and that was probably enough to get me up there, really, so I took off, and I played a residence game before I left, and then had to go straight in the pre-season with the Warriors, and and that was a journey really. And then luckily played a few games. And
so you were playing for Canterbury Bulls, right? And the barter card still when they seen you in that final. So it was Canterbury Bulls versus Mount Albert. Was Mackay in that team as well? Was that sort of last year of barter card?
No, I think Mackay might have been a wee bit after that, possibly.
Oh, okay.
Did he play a final Did he play in the team with me?
Unsure. Shit. I try not to ask him.
A campaign, because back then that's what your team was. You were the Bulls.
Yeah.
That was my last year of a proper campaign.
Yeah, and you guys didn't even play much club, eh? You only played like 2-3 games a year.
Yeah, you might play two or three. Obviously, you had players, and you do that now. Shit, the club would fall over if you lose 6 of these players.
Yeah, yes. So who was John Eklund coaching at that point in time?
John Eklund was the assistant coach for the Warriors. Right. He's a hard old man.
Yeah, I played.
He's very dry.
I played 1 year at Mount Albert when I was in Auckland, and it was just before COVID, and he was the coach. I sat on the bench for a game, and he didn't even put me on. But yeah, he had some good jokes.
Yeah, mate, he wouldn't even say sorry either, would he?
No, but he's a character because all the boys, he wears the old cheese cutter. Yeah, so all the boys at that stage, that was when the old retro tops were coming out. So all the boys were running a retro T-shirt with Mount Albert on it, and then a cheese cutter. Literally, like every dude in the team.
But how good?
Yeah, it was good.
I think he ended up coaching over a few years ago.
Sort of chopped.
So I'm not sure what actually happened at Mount Albert, but I know the boy Aiden still plays for Mount Albert, so they must have might have just been helping out over time.
Yeah, I think he teaches out Otahuhu way as well, so I think it was easier for him. But he's a bloody.
Yeah, he's not a bad state. Yeah, so I can credit pretty much John Eklund pretty much got me into the Warriors pretty much just.
He's a bloody good man.
Yeah, you look at it now. You look at it now, like you wouldn't get 92 kg player playing around now. Like the days are long gone. So I guess I lucked in at the right time just before the athlete transitioning thing came in. And I remember my first when we started getting tested, and I was second worst in the skin folds behind Ivan Tumavavi, and I thought, hey, Ivan's a massive human compared to me, and I was just behind. I thought, fuck, this is all I need. So I ended up losing more weight because I was worried about skin folds, and then I think by the time the season kicks off, I was weighing about 91 kegs or 90 kegs. So.
Yeah. What was your training regime? You said you put on a bit of size and gym and that. To go from Canterbury Bulls to Warriors in the preseason, what was the training regime sort of?
Oh, see, for me, I don't mind. Like, I think obviously it's different eras now. I think they train pretty much all day and every day. They might get a couple of days off, but for us, it was actually pretty good. Like, I think you still had the wee bit of the larrikin stuff, and you go out and have a few beers, but you still trained, and we'd do maybe 4 weight sessions a week and 5 to 6 to fields, and a lot of time you do a morning, and then you get mid morning off to, and then maybe do an afternoon session. So it was pretty relaxed. Coming from being a scaffolder, pre-season was a fucking piece of cake, man. Well, it wasn't a piece of cake, but you do it for 2 hours, and you get the fuck off. So that suited me right down to the T. And I was living with some boys just around. Well, we ended up moving to Elsley eventually, and had quite a few of the boys were living in Elsley, so we had a good crew. So it was easy just to piss off for a few beers or go grab a dinner or something like that. So
there's a few Aussie boys in the team at that point, eh?
Well, it was heaps Aussie boys. When I first moved there, I was meant to move with my mate Calvin Wright. He played at Mount Albert. I'm not sure
Yeah,
you know
number
Calvin Wright.
7.
He coached women's Brisbane. So I was meant to move. He was in my residence team, and when we were playing the Kiwis and that, and he said, "Oh, you can move into my joint when you move up," because the wife and the 2 kids weren't moving up till after Christmas. So then that fell through, and then I rang up the Warriors see if they could have a house. And they were going to move me on some 16 and 17-year-olds. I'm like, fuck that, I'm not moving. I'm 27. I'll be fucking like curious case of Benjamin Button or something. So I ended up moving in with his parents, actually, Calvin's
Oh, yeah.
parents.
Yeah.
And they lived in Botany Downs, and mate, way better than Hornby. That's a red hot top area. So I had a whole all upstairs to myself. Had a bar, toilet, 2
Oh,
bedrooms,
fuck.
and they were the nice. I think they charged me
$50.
$50 because I was on so little money. I think I was getting maybe $800 in the hand a week, but you got paid monthly
Oof.
for the Warriors. So I think I was getting like maybe 2-4
Yeah.
a month. If my
How
maths
long
are
did
right.
that last?
3-2.
So it was comfortable living then. For $50, I was
Yeah.
living like a
Yeah.
king. So, and then they pretty much furnished out my house. I got a house the last day before I went back to Christchurch for the Christmas break, and I got a house in Owsley, and that things came a wee bit more real in regards to budgeting and all that then. But we had Simon Mannering, Michael Lark, Grant Valley, and George Gaddis literally within 2 minutes of each other.
Yeah.
So we had a good time.
George
for
Geddes,
that.
I was over in. Where is he? He's gone back to like Sunny Coast or something, eh? And he's got.
Nah, he's back in Townsville. I'm going to try to get.
Oh,
You're asking for a next guest. Georgie's got some good stories. He's an angry Greek
yeah.
man.
Does he run a kebab shop in Townsville, or used to run like a chain?
No, so he had a
Fish and chip shop. That's it. Yeah, I think we went there.
He had a fish and chip shop, and I've been there once, and it's outstanding. But he wanted to move. He wanted to build new in town, and him and his old man were the best mates. So they were
Yeah.
like so thick as thieves, but they had a massive falling out over that, and they lost their relationship for a long time. But
Right.
they've reconnected. Georgie's had a son now, and they've reconnected. But yeah, Georgie's he's a unique
Yeah.
man. He was hard work in Las Vegas. That's a red hot.
Oh, shit. How did you get told you're going to make your debut, bro? How did that come about?
Yeah. So I was at Mission Bay in Auckland, and obviously when you're earning 40 grand a year, you're not splashing out on too many family events too much. So Mission Bay was a real good cheap place for us to go as a family, and our kids Sophie was only probably 1.5, and Jason was 3. So that was take them down there and see the beach and go in the park, and then I saw Ivan. Ivan was there, and Ivan, he's a great guy, but he's really awkward. He's really an awkward guy to talk to. Like if you get stuck in the elevator with him, like it's a long minute. And I saw him, and then he saw me, so I said, "Okay, fuck, we have to go talk to him now." And so I went over to him. He said, and back then you had little flip phones, and there was no smartphones like that. That's how far along it was. But so I had a little flip phone, and obviously I hadn't listened to him. He said, "I've been trying to ring you," and I thought, "Oh, so that's good." And I said, "Oh, he said you're playing NRL this week." Then I rang my mum, and was the first call, and then I was remember to this day, like Jason. I think Jason ran across the road when I was ringing mum, and some guy yell out, look after your kids or something. I'm just thinking, I'm just about playing NRL. I'm making a phone call here. Give me a break, mate. So it was pretty surreal, and luckily it was early in the piece. I think it might have been. I don't even know how many rounds. I think Georgie Gaddis got knocked out. Will be that big fucking nose of his. Probably deserved to get knocked out, but yeah, he got knocked out, and I was lucky to play because I got match payments. So I was on $2.5 grand a game. So I was managed to get them probably that game in early, so I could get that money into the bank and live a bit more comfortably than. Yeah, but that was how I found out, and it was at Mission Bay and trying to dodge Ivan Cleary. But yeah, I think I saw Epi Coruscant. Epi Coruscant mentioned this a couple of years. I think it was just last year. He said, "Yeah, you don't want to be stuck in the elevator with Ivan." So, but but it sounds like but Uppy said afterwards, he said, that was the old Ivan. He's worked hard on a few interpersonal aspects, I think. So I think he's a bit more
I was gonna,
like he was approachable, but he just felt awkward with him.
I was gonna say he'd have to be
But
pretty on his toes at Penrith there because he got a pretty diverse range of personalities and bloody people that he'd have to adapt to. So.
Oh yeah, mate. He was. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he was a great coach. Like the biggest fuck up the Warriors ever done was letting Ivan go. Like I think you read Simon's book, and they just went straight down. I think they went through 5 or 6 coaches in 10 years once Ivan left. So that was the biggest stuff up. Yeah, but the boys, you had a massive mix of the Islanders and obviously the Kiwis and the Islanders and So it was, we had some good kids. It was a real good group. I had a couple of boys, were hard work, but the rest of them were real good kids.
I think Stephen Price, was it Steve Price, the captain at the time?
Stephen Price was
How good.
captain,
How did you find playing with Steve? Was he as straight up and down as he appears to be, or is he a bit more tall?
Yeah, he's pricey, I guess. He's great player. Like he led that Warriors team, unbelievable. But he did care about the stats a lot, about his own stats. So
Oh yeah.
He was worried about meters gained and all that. But for work rate and leadership, he was outstanding.
Was Wiki there at that stage, or did he come the year after?
He was there. Yeah.
No, he was there. Rubes was there. My first. I got a story about Rubes. Our first week, we went to Matt Hodgson's house to train over in Waiheke Island, and the girls stayed behind and got on the wines. And it was a stinking hot day. It was like 32 degrees or something. And we went and trained for 2 hours at the local school. And then by the time I came back, my wife was wasted, absolutely wasted. And I thought, Jesus, this is not going to end well. She's no good on the wine. And then we had to get the boat back to Waiheke, and you can't hide on that boat. So they were just still feeding her up with wine, and she just let her go. And she was calling Ruben Wiki all night and all day. And then, mate, you're talking to Ruben Wiki, you're calling me Wiki. I'm like, Jesus. Then Ivan came up and said, Panther, you all right? I said, yeah. So I took the kids upstairs and let the wife fucking have a bit of fun. But yeah, that was Katie's first night out with the girls. So.
Nice. He doesn't really. Did he get on the drink at that point? He's a bit of a carver man, eh? Rubes?
Yeah, he was. A lot of carver. I couldn't even remember if he had a few. But he might have a few beers Mad Monday possibly. But yeah, he was. Yeah, he was just ultimate professional. He looked after himself way better than anyone else.
Oh, you can tell. Yes. Even
look at him now. He's still unbelievable.
When I done the Queenstown Marathon.
Mate, you marathon runners.
I only done one. I'm not doing it ever again. But I just seen this actual Adonis of a man in front of me getting ready to go. Then I ran up to him and I was like, shit, that's Ruben Wiki. And he had his shirt off and everything. I didn't.
I think he takes his shirt off and he'll take his shirt off and fucking
But he was dead set. I must have had some clients with him or something, but he was running ahead. He'll boost off. He'll come back 20 minutes later, talk to these older ladies that must have been his clients, and he was doing that the whole time with ease, so.
Yeah, because I think he was running a gym up there with his wife at some stage. I'm not sure if he's doing that, but yeah, Ruben, he's just a fitness freak, mate. I think he looks better now than when he plays, which a lot of players. That's what I mean. A lot of people train harder when they give up footy than when they actually were playing footy.
Yeah, because you got to keep your body injury free as well, I suppose. Get on the field, so.
They called anti-flags, suck them down like
Eat them like lollies.
Eat them like lollies.
Yeah, eat them like lollies. Mate, the ulcers be no good at 50.
Sweet. We did have some listeners' questions, so I'm just going to play off my phone for a second.
How many stitch-ups
there's
you
a few,
on this one? Can I plead the Fifth Amendment on any or what?
When are you going? I got one. How many more years until we had Andrew on last week, actually. Bloody Cares hogging all the titles. How many years until we beat the Cares in the final, mate? Someone.
Oh, shit.
They're bloody strong, though. Strong club. He mentioned they won every single comp last year.
Yeah, mate, and they were pretty. Their biggest, was undefeated in the grand final. I was 6-0 until I came on this fucking losing run with the bloody Kiers. So now I'm 7-6. So it's the win ratio's gone real bad. But hats off to him. There's probably 2 finals, possibly 3 we should have won.
Yeah.
Like, we blew it ourselves, and we got no one to blame but ourselves. And well, it is, maybe they got maybe something that to get them through the last few minutes that we can't figure out at the moment. But
on that subject, one of the people to send in a question was Andrew, and I'll rattle it off for you. He said, "Will you consider a career in refereeing since you've been doing it for years?"
Yeah, I wouldn't say a ref. I just ask polite questions. Like I'm a lot better. I've only ever been sin-bin twice in my career, and one was sin-binning was for a punch I didn't even throw. So technically, I've only been if I'm arguing in the court of law, I've only been like in sin-bin once. So I can't be that bad.
Cam Smith.
They just get upset. Andrew was no good on the chat anyway, so
Right.
don't listen to him. I'm surprised you can fit that head on that screen. Actually, he's like a fucking human.
It was a struggle.
He walks past the sun's gone.
It was a struggle. It was a lot of editing to get it in.
Like his shoulders are like he's the size of a
Hey, we
table.
want to get him back on at some stage. So.
Yeah, so better stop.
Hey, tell him get on the fitness regime because he needs it at the moment.
All right, we'll move on from that one. We got don't know who this is, but Tommy Gun 6. Which local club do you least like losing to?
Oh shit! It's probably the Hornets. Hornets or Riccarton. They're both pretty strong this year, so it'll be interesting how them 2 goes. Yeah, so Halls will fucking just they can be with arrogant white boys, but arrogant young boys, and then Riccarton's our old foes. They say that they're the battlers and try to get the feel sorry story for them going. But off the field, everyone's great, but on the field, obviously things change. But they're the least 2 teams. Linwood's Linwood, but there's a rivalry there, and that rivalry's probably been created through our 2 teams' successes really. But the old Halls a probably 80-year rivalry, and Riccarton's our next door neighbours. So
all right, same guy. Who was the toughest year? Who was the toughest year? I think it means which was the toughest year at the Warriors during your stint with them?
Toughest year only lasted 1 year before I got cut. So 2007 the only year. I didn't really get cut. There's a bit of a story there, but I probably didn't ask the right question to Ivan towards the end of the year, and just go Doncaster, so I just took that. So it was only 1 year. Ended up there.
Okay, so we'll go off the 1 year was the hardest.
Yeah, 2007.
It was another one. Jerry Wilson, 187.
Oh, Jerry, this could be a real
greatest all-round club teammate includes off-field and general morale and camaraderie.
James
Baxter.
Oh no! Is that a referral? Get him on.
Mate, I don't think you could do Baxter for a podcast. I reckon he'll be fun. Yes, mate. There's no way he can talk to him.
He's a great.
Yeah, no, James just year in year out kicks goals, playmaker. Like, there's nothing that kid didn't. He probably didn't realise how good he was until probably a wee bit too late. He went to Queensland Cup and then, but found love before he left and came back for a woman. And
he used to roll the arm over a bit of cricket as well. Real tough.
Yeah, he was a Canterbury A cricketer at like 18 or 19, I think. But he hates cricket now. You couldn't get him. I got him to play a game with us, like Social 2020, and he refused. He never played a game because he didn't like my captain because he made a couple poor bowling rotations and backs. He just wasn't keen. So I think he's all or nothing. But yeah, he ended up hating cricket in the end, Baxi. But yeah, but for a teammate, shit. It's just, if you want something to have, then you give it to James.
All right.
I caught up with him when I was down. He's bloody good man, Baxi.
You brought his house to
back in the day. Yeah.
That's when he was going for his bus up. I think he got it for steel.
They were doing repairs on it at the time, I think. So it was like,
Yeah, they were going for a bust up too, weren't they? So I think it was a wee bit. Yeah, it was a wee bit.
It's all getting aired here. Look out.
Yeah. Old Andre swoops in when the chips are down, eh?
Sounds right. Sounds about right. We got another one here from Dayton Mansgood. Manson good?
Oh,
How,
Jaden, yeah. That's
all
my
right, how
boy's best
disappointed
friend.
are you that your son will never win you a chip?
Hey, this is coming from a kid who's just been banned for 36 weeks in rugby, so I'm not sure he's got too much to say. Jaden makes it good. So, no, James and my boy's in the army, and he's got a bit of potential, and he's pumping out weights like there's no tomorrow. But there's no pressure on. I think he probably puts more pressure on himself to play. I think than I put pressure on him.
Yep.
So,
Did you play Segway Christian? Did you play a Prem's game with him?
yeah, a couple of years ago, like Jaden played. Like he is a good player. I think he'd be a real good player at 24, 25, maybe when he fills out and real game smart. He's got a massive motor. But yeah, played. Yeah, that was cool. So I made sure I was sticking around. And he got an early start in the Premiers for a preseason and played most of the year. But he was probably he's only weighing probably about 72
Oh, shit.
kegs. So when the big games came in, they just used to pin him in a corner. So but he's done a good job at 18. So he's going away for a wee bit this year. So he probably won't play much Prems this year, I wouldn't think. But yeah, but still cool. We didn't argue or have a punch up on the field, so the relationship's still in place.
All right, got another one from Philsy91. Which celebrity does he think he looks like?
I reckon George Clooney, but that's no shit show. After a few beers, I'm Jason Stratham because he's the best looking man without hair. So that's the only one I can claim be
I was going to
say
say there's a bit of Statham about you.
Yeah, that's what I reckon. I'm pretty close. I reckon it's almost identical match. So I've just gone from 7.5 down to a 4 without. So I'll get back to a 7 now. But like back when I was 18, 19, I had Jerry curls down to my shoulders. Like, I don't know what's gone wrong. Must have been too much stress in my life. I don't know.
Playing for the Warriors.
He's been a steep decline, put it that way.
That was all of them. There was a few there. That might have been a record. The most questions sent in.
You played a game with your son. Do you reckon you'll be round still playing Prem's footy when your grandson comes into top grade?
No, I'm sure my daughter's not having sex, so I'm safe on that one. So, well, that's what I keep saying to myself. Jason, I'm not sure about James' chat-up game. He's a good-looking kid, but I'm not sure how chat-up games goes to run. So he might not get much action anyway. But he's been banned from Tinder, so I'm not sure what's gone wrong there. So I might be safe. I'm hoping I'll probably play a bit of bees this year and see what happens. But yeah, this is definitely, if I play this year, I'll be done afterwards.
What's your give us a club highlight and maybe a rep footy highlight, one of each of your 20 years of footy in top grade.
I guess club highlight would have to be a grand final one. I guess I'm trying to figure out which one's which. I think a few years ago, after we'd lost 3 in a row and we beat Lillard, I think that's probably the highlight of all of them. I guess you have to lose some to appreciate how much actually winning means sometimes, I guess. Yeah. And had a couple real tight knit boys that year, and it was some good fun. Bad Monday was terrible. I know. I think it was just all the energy being spent for the last 3 years, and we were all burnt out. So Mad Monday was a complete fizz. One of the worst ones I've ever been involved in, actually. But rep highlight probably be when we won Barter Card. Who did we beat?
Probably Auckland.
I don't know who we beat. No, I think it wasn't Eastern Tornadoes. It was. I couldn't even tell you, but I think the year before we'd come second to last.
Yeah.
And we won our last 2 games that
Was
year.
Was it
built a wee bit of momentum, and that next year, well, we're all small white boys, really. Like we had good Island boys, but we were small compared to everyone else, and didn't think we had Chris Newton, and Chris Newton was a bit of a freak.
Who was the? You had a forward with the headgear, long hair, and he threw an offload in the last minute. Was that year to win the game? Was it
See, I've got memory of a sieve. Like I'm so bad at remembering.
Too many head knocks.
I think it might have been Richmond we beat, maybe. I don't know. Like you ask Mark Nixon or someone like that, he remembers every game he ever played in. But Like, yeah, I remember we won by about five. I think we won by not heaps, but it wasn't as uncomfortable as it could have been. But yeah, that was a highlight because we were so shit the year before. That was my second year playing Bulls, so it was all a bit of a surreal feeling. And so I had some good players, and Chris Newton and Taylor Palnisi, and some players that should have probably went on a bit further.
Yeah, nice. Is there any
Sweet.
more Q&A,
Oh,
Glenn?
we got the standard one, and that's over the years. Is there a Kiwis game, moment, player that kind of your favourite kind of memory or stands out to you, like watching?
I think the David Kidwell hit on Willie Mason stands up. It was just he's a Hornby boy.
That's right, yeah.
He just took it upon himself to set the tone, and that goes down a bit of folklore. But probably, I'll see it. I'm still very good mates with Simon. I still think he epitomises everything what a rugby league player should be and is about. So he's still, I think him and David Kidwell are probably my two players that I respect the most in regards to that rep stuff. And as a player, like I played with Simon at 17 in residence, and when I went up there for his 300th game, and like he's honestly the same kid that he was at 17 years old. Like nothing changed him, and I think that's what rugby league these days and the way social media is. I think once you get the profile, I think people go different routes, but Simon's always been the one that's, I think you watch him play and does all the shit that no one sees, and especially in the Kiwi jersey. I think he was, when he chased down Mark Gasnier, maybe another moment, like just done effort play on effort play, and to the general watcher, they don't appreciate that. When if you're a league player and you watch what people do multiple efforts, you get a respect for that type
That
of
was
player
his
to play
debut
with.
for the Kiwis, wasn't it? When he chased down Gaz?
Yeah.
I think it
Was
was.
it? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I just remember that. But yeah, he was an athlete. So see, and with Simon, he's so generous. Like my boy went away to Ampodian's trip, and he gave me so many signed Warriors jerseys. And then last year, I done a fundraiser for a girl that had terminal cancer, and he gave me a jersey. And then I thought, he's given me so many jerseys. Like he just wants to get rid of his jersey for some reason. So I don't understand it, but that's the way he is. And he gave me his jersey, and I looked it up, and he gave me his NRL debut jersey to auction off. And so I had to ring on and say, mate, I don't think I can accept this. It's your debut. And he said, mate, she'll get more out of it than I will. So
That's epic, eh?
So I mean, he raised about 10 grand with that one jersey. So that's just the type of person he is.
Awesome.
And everyone
So
loves
good.
that Kidwell hit. Everyone loves that.
He's never told me what he said to him, mate. I don't think he's told many people what he actually said to him. He said some words, but I don't think he's ever related on. Maybe took a sleek few after a fucking 2-day bender with a couple of his Hornby boys.
He still comes back.
I think he's on the big bucks in Buenos
right.
Aires now, so I don't think he's come back to
No, I don't think he is either.
He comes back to the Hornby club a little bit, doesn't he? He still comes back there and has a few beers with Panthers.
Yeah,
boys.
like Kilwell's a legend. Like he's still when the Maoris were in the World Cup, when it was in England, I think he's going to come back and play for Hornby to get match fit. But I think there was a big restraint on insurance prices. I know you have to insure your players or something like that, and they weren't willing to do it. But yeah, he always comes back for a beer, and all his best mates are still his mates from high school. So I think he can shout them boys a beer now, because I think he's on the big bucks after being New Zealand last year.
Yeah, shit. There was quite the effort.
Oh, was it what? I've never been an All Blacks fan anyway, so I don't mind when they get big.
Oh, it's the same as me.
That's fine on That's absolutely fine on this podcast, mate.
That's come from years of being a depressed Warriors supporter. You really hope doom and gloom on all other codes except for Warriors.
So Warriors are your NRL team you support, though? Yep.
Yeah. I was a massive Manly fan growing up, like diehard. Cliffy Lyons still my all-time favourite player. I love Cliffy Lyons, but Warriors now, I think the whole family, me and Jay love the Warriors, and it was pretty exciting this year. Like I've never seen a country get wrapped up in that sort of hysteria, and yeah, it was was because I was trying to get some jerseys signed that year, and like you couldn't get jerseys, like
Yep.
it was impossible. And so I managed to get a couple, and then I hadn't received them for that semi-final, so I was stressing out if they lost that quarter final against Newcastle, I wouldn't be able to get rid of my bloody raffle tickets because they were fundraising for our trip down to Queenstown. So I had to get them done. Thankfully, that they won. Then they turned up that Monday, and I sold out. I sold 200 tickets in 1 hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Just the hysteria just went crazy. But that's I guess that's when Warriors fans have been so starved of success, and the whole New Zealand's just caught the hope, I guess. But going to Brisbane was always going to be probably a game too far for us, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Also,
even just getting GA tickets was a mission, eh? Like we've got
well, because obviously it goes through NRL. Like I was on work site trying to do it, and my credit card wouldn't work, and I typed in the wrong fucking code as well. And I thought I've been prepping for like half an hour for this, and I just think you are such an idiot. Like, who writes down the wrong code? Like, I sat down half an hour, gave up work to get sorted, and then I'm typing in the wrong fucking code. Like, such an idiot. But it was stressful times. I was yelling out a few fucks amongst the 5 minutes trying to get them. But once I got them, worked out quite well because the wife was staying up there, so I took her and had a 3 nights accommodation. So I worked out.
Sweet, there you go. What a man. That was an epic game too.
Oh mate, I'll take a freebie if it's there. Don't worry about that.
I'll have to catch up with you when you're up next. Give us a yell when you come up next year, and we'll have a couple of beers after.
Yeah, I think there's I went to an old boys day this year, and I actually enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would, because I get sometimes when you feel you haven't played many games, you don't really feel like you belong. There's no one else going on the field, but it was good to catch up with a few of the boys up there. So I think they play the Dragons possibly in July, so we might be keen for that, Andre. Get ourselves, I'll get you up there.
Perfect.
Take the mic,
boys. If you
take the microphone and a camera.
I'm still a face for radio. Remember?
I don't know, man. After this, you could be bloody. They might put you on TV.
Oh, mate. I've only got 10 good stories in me. Once I got the 10 stories out, I'm done.
All right.
Like when we went to Vegas for our team trip, and like we meant to go to Cancun for the Warriors, and they got a hurricane put in, so they said we could either go to Vegas or Thailand. I was on 40 grand, so I voted for Thailand straight away. But these bastards picked Vegas, and like running around with the high rollers over there, it was torture.
Anyone get arrested?
Nah, but a couple of boys brought back girlfriends from there.
Oh, really?
It's a unique place. This boy's been there. You would have been there.
Crazy.
Been to Vegas. Just two nights.
Yeah.
2 nights is probably enough, eh?
Oh, we were there for 5 nights, and when we got to the airport, we got given $600 US straight off the bat from team funds, so that went straight in the back pocket. And then we end up having quite a lot of, because Matt Butch does a lot of fundraising for the team, and we just turn up to a couple of events and he raises like 30 or 40 or 50 grand. I don't know, it's lots of money. I don't know, probably more than that actually if going to Vegas with 15 guys. But we got there and we just went VIP to all the clubs and paid $2.5 grand and
bottle service.
Got $2.5 grand. You got your own hostess. Got 3 bottles of. We always got 2 gin and 2 vodka and 1 gin, and get your own bartender and bouncer, and away you go. And then the first night we went to Luxor actually, and George Gaddis, he's not the smartest individual. We'd only been in there for an hour, so all the boys starting to get quite excited about you're in Vegas, and everyone's saying a bit more relaxed because everyone's coming at you for money to start with. Like, fuck it. Like atomic fucking bomb coming at you. Everyone's coming at you. And then he touched the hostess glass.
Georgie.
Yeah, Georgie, and he got kicked out straight away. And I still see his face now getting kicked out. Like, the man was just broken. Then I think he paid the bouncer $100 3 times to get back in. So he paid like $300 and he got kicked out every time. But, and then we all gave Georgie $100 each to go get, like, he said, we'll go to a comedian and a show. So and I was rooming with Wairangi Kupu, and Wise said, he's signed Rita Wagner. He signed us up to a comedian. And I said, I've never, Wise said, I'm not so sure. And we got there, and we were the youngest people there by 10 years. Well, this is not going to be good. And she started off some real cliche one-liners, And I think I'm usually the most politest guy ever. Like, I'll hang out because I don't want to upset anyone. Like, but after about 5 minutes, I went up to get her. I said, "Yeah, fucking disgrace," and I walked out. And that's the first time I've ever walked down to anything in my life. And then I got down to the bottom casino. And I thought, shit, I'm here for another 90 minutes. I'm gonna blow my whole wad of cash here. But honestly, I think about 3 minutes later, all the boys walked out and just abused George. And then he got us circularly to Solisay tickets, Beatles, and the stage broke down after 45 minutes, so we raxed them again. And then the last night we went VIP at our local. And then someone picked on George, and him and Mike Wood almost had a punch up that night. And
Michael Wood.
last night was at this other place. It was like a burlesque show.
Oh yeah.
And it was done like Pussycat
Oh yeah,
Dolls.
nice.
And I'm there, like Mark Luck and a few of the other boys were just at our local at the bar we were staying at. And I think George Gaddis sent me a text after about 2 hours when I'd been at this bar, and he said, "Panther, you don't belong." And I was looking at all these girls coming down off the rafters. Just text back, "See you 2 minutes, boys." But yeah, it was a good event. Like George picked up this girl from a wind tunnel away. Like, I don't know what I'd done to her face, but she looked like the Joker. And like, he wouldn't talk to anyone else until like he was single, so he was fine. And Ravelli he was trying to escort her out through the poker machines, like covertly, and like it was a rotation system we had at the bar. Like, you'll get in at like 2 or 3 a.m. and there'd be one person sitting at the bar drinking, so you'd sit with him, then someone would go and you'd be replaced by the next boy that got in. And Rav's got a photo of her, of the one coming in, and like he refused to talk to any of us or have a drink with us until the photo was deleted. And like this went on for probably about 12 hours. You wouldn't have a bar of it. He's an angry man, Geordie. But yeah, it was coming from a young boy in Hornby, like, you get to go on a team trip to Vegas, so it was pretty surreal. But I was in sick bay on the Wednesday because me and Y was shitting and I was spewing, so we didn't make it out on the Wednesday night. So I sounded myself one night short, but they definitely can rinse you out. Can definitely rinse you out.
Sounds like that was.
And then I didn't eat enough before I got on the plane, and I was asking the people next to me for their food. And I ran out. I took my last sleeping tablet on the Wednesday, so I didn't have a sleeping tablet. It was a long 12-hour journey home. Long 12-hour journey home.
Sounds like that was the rep highlight of your career. The Vegas trip.
Mate, Vegas. I still would live like a king in Thailand now if I was honest on my fucking $40,000. But
yeah,
I was just so lucky. I played in 4 games, so I got $2,500. We got paid monthly, so I could put one payment each month. So it got me through them. Then Katie, I signed to go to England, and then Katie wanted to go home before we went to England, so I moved into Simon and George's and slept on the couch, and so I got pretty lucky in regards to that. But yeah,
what a story!
Good stories,
Great
I guess.
stories.
Maybe not the footy so much, but yeah, the stories were good.
It's probably changed a bit these days, right? I don't know if they'll be going on end of season Vegas trips now.
They won't be pissing up for fucking 5 days of Vegas before the NRL debut this year. But Walks our trainer. Walks was an unbelievable human. He's one of the funniest guys I've ever met. Like, he used to tell, he said, if you just have to turn up recovery. It doesn't matter what state you're in, you just have to turn up. I think Brett Webb, the boys were telling me stories. Brett Webb used to turn off bottles of wine and all sorts of shit.
Webby.
Yeah, obviously it's changed now, but like back then, I guess it was as I've talked to Simon, like, he really enjoyed that years, and then as it got further on, it became an actual job, and you missed the social aspect of going out, having a beer, and that, which is, I think, it's not all doom and gloom, but the way, I guess, how much money there is in the game now, I guess, I think minimum wage now is 140.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, for top 30.
So I think you have to be, if you're getting that much money, there's I think the trial and train boys get $1,000. Mate, it's going up $1,200 this week, I think, this year. And when I was there, like, we had 6 or 7 young boys. Wayne McDade, probably my age, he was doing a trial and train contract for zero, getting nothing because they're dangling a carrot, and they just want a few extra bodies there for training. Like, I think the way the game's gone has been definitely good. A lot of people bag the boys for getting the big money, but a lot of them big boys have fought real hard to get the boys that on the poor contracts actually getting paid money they can actually live. So when I was there, like Russell Packer just was 17, and I think he was on double to me, and so that's why it was. Though.
Yeah. I definitely especially now with the RLPA and those sorts of additional organisations rooting for the boys, the old salary packages have gone up a wee bit, and even
Oh, mate. Obviously they're generating money. So you don't have a game without your
100%.
players. You don't have TV
Yeah.
without your players. So I don't know why everyone gets so Humpty Dumpty about these boys getting paid, because I know if I'm sitting next to the person and I offer him 100 grand, 200 grand to come scaffolding, he's going to take it. Like people just get jealous. No one knows ever going to take up scaffolding. Let's be honest here, but people get upset because these people earn so much money. But look at Jarrell Yao. Like he's one injury, and he never played NRL again. So like the game can disappear in a heartbeat with some of these boys. So take what you can get, and that's in life in general, especially as well. So.
Yeah. Who's your topical at the moment? Who's your pick for replacing Madge Maguire for the Kiwis coach? Who would you put in there?
I think there's a bit of talk about Nathan Kalis from what I'm hearing.
Yeah, that's what Bull said.
I heard Wayne Bennett said he hasn't retired from Mission when someone mentioned to him about the Kiwis. So I think from what I heard when they won the World Cup, he was a real good support person. So I'll be trying to take some time getting Wayne, because from what I've heard about Wayne, like it's just a great people's coach, like players coach. Like I don't think he's ever going to be most technical, but everyone wants to play for Wayne and die for Wayne and do everything. And Wayne takes a lot of that heat. Like if you watch a lot of interviews, and he takes the heat away from his players, he'll put a lot of it on himself a lot of the time.
He's good at that, yeah.
I think he wouldn't be a bad spot there. But you watched them Kiwis go this year. Like who saw that scoreline coming? Who saw that result coming? Wasn't me, but obviously the game's in a good place, and international league's in a good place with all them defections. I know it hasn't been good for some of our New Zealand boys, but it's made the international game a hell of a lot more competitive.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think Bull said the same, and then that's a pretty common theme. Maybe if we get Wayne as a support person, Nathan Kalis, or even Benji Marshall, or one of those.
Yeah, I think Benji's got enough on plate fucking Tigers at the moment.
Job on there.
Jesus. He's just signed a Hornby boy actually. Signed Malamalo.
Oh right.
Oh, is he from?
Played a game for us this year. Scored 3
points. Oh, there you go.
Local. I think we have to put a transfer fee on him now.
That's right. Claim it.
We'll tell you, he probably won us a game because we were going terrible in that game until fucking Solomon.
Oh, true. There you go. Got the inside word.
Yeah, I think he signed 3 years. He was on the cusp of the All Blacks 5 or 6 years ago, but I think he had a few off-field stuff that that he struggled with and went a bit backwards. But he's a real good kid, Solomon. So I'm not sure he's going to get through the fucking pre-season with league, because it's totally different. I think these Crusaders do about 4-6 weeks pre-season these days, and they're straight into football in Feb. But I think the NRL boys will do 3 to 4 months of solid pre-season.
And the Aussie
I think that'll be the shock for Solomon to start with.
Yeah, and the Aussie heat as well. That adds another dimension to it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's a big rangy boy, Solomon. So hopefully he doesn't drop too much weight. But it'll be interesting to see how he goes. He's probably, I guess you saw, who's the boy from Melbourne this year?
Warbrick.
Warbrick. He's probably the same type of player. Probably not, maybe not as physical, but he's probably got that skill set.
Yeah, I haven't really.
So he'll be interesting to see how he goes. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's good to see a few more rugby boys having a crack, eh?
Well, I think Roos has just signed that Wallaby, didn't they? I think there's dispensation in the
cap, maybe.
In the salary cap now with signing rugby players, and why not go after them? Like, watch some of these big Fijian boys. Jeez, you'd like to get another one of them on your wing, but
especially in New Zealand.
But yeah, I guess with Soali leaving, it's opened up a bit of a can of worms, I guess.
Yeah, I think especially in New Zealand, there's plenty of union boys in New Zealand. Zealand, imagine that.
You look at some of these, the NPC, you think some of these boys would go real good at League A, but I'm surprised we haven't had a lot, because I think you probably earn more playing League now. Unless, obviously, the boys going overseas, Japan and all in France will earn more, but I think locally, a lot of these boys would, earn 300-400 grand on a good contract if they're pretty us. So, it might open up soon if they get, if a club can get them in for 400 and they have to pay 200. Probably going to open up some
doors. And if
they
see the other guys going well too, they might go, oh shit, okay, he's jumped over and gone all good. So, hopefully that happens.
Yeah, because you got that. Who's that boy? Their brother's just about to sign. I heard for Newcastle. Is it Tom?
Yeah, so 2025, I think.
Yes, and I didn't see that one coming because he's a forward
Yeah.
in rugby, and I'm not sure how many forwards have ever transitioned over successfully, or even if they even have. But I'm interested to see how he goes. Like, obviously, he must have a skill set. I guess the rugby forwards now are a lot more different than they were about
Yeah,
10,
true.
15 years ago. Like, they're a
Yeah,
lot
he's a
different.
hooker too, so
Hooker, yeah.
he'd be quite mobile, I'd say, around the paddock.
So he'd be a good prop for Newcastle.
Well, if he's anything like
Yeah.
his brother, he'd be all good. Having two of him.
Warrior should be going after
Yeah,
Leo.
100%.
He's a
Yeah, it's
Kiwi
from
boy, I think.
born in Gizzy they were, and grew up in Hawke's Bay area, I think.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. Like, a lot of these players, again, like James Fish-Harris was
Yeah,
from
he's from
Auckland.
Yeah,
Hokianga.
And like a lot of these players getting signed, like there's some real good
Yep.
scouts getting out there now amongst today and really finding some real good
A
players.
lot of these
I've
guys
got,
I don't know, but
James Fitzgerald was probably a beast at 12, if we're honest, or 10. I said, oh,
they get them
yeah,
pretty young.
probably wasn't hard to find
there's a
him.
guy here in the Mount, a friend of ours, who played at Pat back in the day, but coached a bit in Aussie, and he's a scout for the Broncos here, in Toto.
Yeah, mate, I caught up with Tony Iro a few earlier in the year, and he mentioned something about recruitment role, but I haven't heard anything back from him. So I must have got cut before I even got
The Bulldogs
signed.
got in
I
there.
must have made the chop on that one here. But they got Tyler Sullivan down here as a Warriors
Oh, is he? You're
scout
right.
a wee bit down here, and so he trains all the boys. But we've got, as I said, we've got 6 up there at the moment. That's just from Hornby, and there's probably 4 or 5 also from other clubs up there doing the Jersey Flegg and Howard Matthews
Yeah, and
preseason.
I guess.
So they're
Yeah,
spending
I
money.
guess there's only a certain amount of cap space they have for juniors as well, so
Yeah.
we can't capture them all through the Warriors pathway. So I guess
Well, see, would there be a cap for Howard Matthews and Jersey Flegg? I don't think they'd be technically be allowed to be
Yeah,
paid
true.
much.
Maybe there's a limit of players though, like the amount you can
I
have.
heard
Yeah.
a number floated around that they can only spend $100,000 on juniors.
Yeah, that'd probably be
Yeah.
about right. So, but a lot of these boys would be on zero money.
Or they cover
They
just cover their like medical and strapping and all that
Yeah, well,
shit.
they call them scholarship players as well, which I don't think the scholarship boys are even legally contracted. I think they get out of the scholarship pretty easy these days. I think if they're a scholarship player, but yeah, I wouldn't know. You might know more than me, but yeah, but Tony Ori mustn't want me anymore, so I've been cut. No free
beers,
gears.
come on.
Right, Tony Ori, like when I was playing reserve grade, Tony Ori got brought in to help coach because our first coach was struggling a wee bit in regards to, well, see, being probably not good enough actually, and he came in, and I think we used to stay Friday, and then play Saturday, and then you wouldn't play till 4 or 5, and then me and Tony Ori would go across the road to the pub there and have a punt and play pokies for about 2-3 hours, and like you wouldn't get away
hell
with that
no.
now. But yeah, so Tony Ori's they call him Sponge. I presume it's for his drinking ability.
Yeah.
I'm guessing, but yeah. But yeah, so he's a
Hell
good man,
good.
old Tony. But yeah, that obviously it wouldn't happen now. You get someone filming you when you go to the pokies, fucking like
Well, they
they
did
do
to
these
Brandon
days.
Smith.
What's his role now? So is he junior pathways?
Yeah, he's junior pathways thing. He runs the whole program.
Right.
I think
Shit.
now.
'Cause Andrew McFadden's in there as well somewhere, eh? He's doing similar.
Yeah, I'm not 100%. Yeah. I think they both run it. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, they're spending some money on recruitment, junior recruitment, and that's where we were falling down the last 15, 10 years because there was no money spent on getting recruitment, getting good recruiters, putting pathways in for them, now they're playing Jersey Flegg and Howard Matthews, whatever they're called. Like that's a lot of money to spend. I think the owner's he's out there, but I think he's quieting down a wee bit.
Yeah.
Thankfully, but obviously he's putting money.
If you look at the teams that are successful at the moment, the Panthers, the Broncos, that's what they're doing. So it must be working. If Webby's come from the Panthers, he's obviously seen something over there that he's looking to replicate here. So hopefully it works, and it's good to see the young boys actually being like even Tom Ali, like who picked him to be in the starting 17 last year.
Yeah, I think with them two regions, like I think everyone wants to be. If you live in Brisbane, that's your dream to play for the Brisbane Broncos. If you live in Penrith, you're a Westie. You're born and bred. You want to play for Penrith, and I think that's where New Zealand's probably struggled with lately. Well, in the last 15, 20 years,
100%.
making our boys want. I live in New Zealand. I want to play for the fucking Warriors. So I think that tune's slowly starting to change now, and if we can get everyone wanting to be Warriors, because there's so much talent out there, and obviously they're spending all this money on these young boys and recruiters, so they're going to find a lot better players than what they have been getting.
Yeah.
So I think the next 10 years it could be, hopefully it filters into our junior system, because I played with one, and he got sunnified. He got recruited early, and he was, there's so many. He was going to be a superstar, and there's so many of them sunnified type players out there. It's just trying to get them in, get them on the sign for the Warriors.
See the long-term plan, in place for them, instead of taking I suppose they get dangled, like you said, a carrot of so much money in front of them these days that they kind of don't look at the long-term aspect.
Yeah, I know like a lot of parents wine and dine, and they get flown over to Australia. But and if I guess why wouldn't you if you're in that position? But it's my understanding a lot of the island boys they will sign for whoever's offering the biggest money. Because obviously with that culture, there is you want to look after your family, so it can be a detriment sometimes. You probably might go to the wrong club, but it's easy for us to pass judgment, but these boys want to provide straight away, and why wouldn't, if you got a chance to provide for your family at 16, 17, why wouldn't you?
Easy. Sweet. Well, we've had you on here for you've gone over the hour mark, mate.
But
shit, I must have
good reason.
Chat.
Good reason. Great,
that was
some
epic.
great yarns there. Oh, you saved the best for last, I think, with the old Vegas trip. Definitely.
Yeah, that was good.
What stays in Vegas? See, Georgie won a bit of money in Vegas,
did
but then he disappeared and spent it all as quick as he found it. Georgie's no good.
George has to come on. George has to come on and defend his honour.
Yeah, I'll touch base with him, and because I know he's been. There was a little incident before I got there. He, I think some boys pranked him, George, and he stole all their training gear, like from out of their lockers, and like all of it, like shoes, boots, everything, and then put it in plastic bags, and then went, because we lived in Owsley then, and there was a petrol station next door to him, and he filled up all these shopping bags with petrol, and then went across to the Owsley Eagles ground and lit the whole thing on fire. Like fucking, it went up but they had to call the police. Fire turned up and everything. And
pranks gone wrong.
But yeah, George, he's a unique man.
He sounds
George.
very unique.
But yeah, I'll touch base with him because he wouldn't be a bad one for a podcast, George. I've heard him one time before, and he's got some stories, George. Probably most of them are bad.
If we can't get him on due to location, because where is he? Yeah, I suppose we could do the same thing.
He's
but
in Townsville, so.
Who would your backup be? Who would you?
What you looking for?
Well, yeah, Kiwis, good men, good stories, good yarns.
Good banter.
Like yourself, mate.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, mate! You put me under the pot. I was actually trying to research this because when Andrew nominated me, I thought this would happen to me, but obviously I haven't done my due diligence.
You can let us know.
Later.
Yeah, let us know.
You can let us know. We won't hold you.
We didn't do our due diligence. We went out boating on Sunday. We didn't do due diligence on our weather. We ended up getting arrested by the Coast Guard. So it seems to be a common theme at the moment.
Arrested by the Coast Guard, all right.
Coast Guard, yeah. We didn't check weather forecast too well.
Jesus.
Turned the ship. Right. Jesus. So not ideal. We're waiting for a fine in the mail at the moment. Actually, so wasting resources. But yeah, maybe James. James wouldn't be a bad stick to interview as well. I guess he's an unassuming. It'll be a different type of interview, but I guess sometimes when you talk to people reflecting on their career, they can actually see what they've actually done sometimes, and it took me a long time to realise I actually went all right. So James would probably be one of them that would probably get nice reflection out of what he's actually done in football. But because I remember the first few times I still feel a bit of a failure. I guess when you get cut from the Warriors, and it is you feel like if you succeeded you get re-signed. But I guess when you reflect a wee bit more on it as you get older, and I wouldn't say wiser, but it does have so Baxi wouldn't be a bad one actually. But I'll touch base with George because George wouldn't be. Michael Luck wouldn't be too bad either.
Lucky.
Simon's no chance. He doesn't know what technology is.
You'll be pushing pretty hard to try and get him on something like this, right?
I've tried to get him. Andrew tried to get me to a fucking interview, like send a message to support St.
Oh, yeah.
Thomas. I said, mate, like honestly, don't like it's a waste of time. Like,
No good.
we catch up 3-4 times a year, and he's come to Kamara races this year for a 2-day booze trip. So he talks more in them situations than he ever would on a podcast. I'd say. So.
That's probably why you haven't seen him around, though. Yeah, like you say. That's why you wouldn't have seen him out on any of the podcasts, or even interviews after footy. Really, yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, what Simon actually said to me, actually wishes he could just, not forget he ever played, but he's put
Kept it
that
behind him.
portion of his
Yeah,
life
sure.
away, and it's just not part of him. I think he did take his boys to a game this year, so I think he is. Like when I went there, I went and helped. I took my daughter up to Ferry. She's going outward bound, so I had to take her up to Picton. So I went to Simon, helped on a couple of days, build his house, and he had no TV. Like he's gone vegan. Like he's gone all fucking weird back then. I thought, Jesus, what's happening here? And I had to watch State of Origin on a Blade laptop. And that was the first. He watched the first half, and that's the first game rugby league he'd watched in like 3 to 5 years
really?
or something. So
Yeah, good.
yeah, but he's back watching the Warriors now, so I guess he's getting back into that. We went up to Old Boys Day this year, so I guess he didn't want to go in the field, so that suited me just fine. So I guess the tide's turning for him. It might be reflection,
or
kids
just
growing up and probably seeing who Dad was, and that's what I said to him when he was giving me the jersey. I said, mate, your kids might want these jerseys, like, only because you don't want them doesn't mean some of your family won't want them. But each to their own. But
awesome.
So Baxi be right. I'll touch base with George and we'll see how we go.
Me.
Sounds good. Sounds like a plan.
All right. I better tell people where to find us. You can like and subscribe on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify.
What's TikTok? I'm never going on TikTok.
Well, your face is going to be on it tomorrow.
Hey, there won't be no followers. It'll be like a Grinder account. It'll be no good.
I think you go well on Grinder, mate.
I don't. So one of the boys dished me up on Grinder. I had 43 people chasing me in an hour. But I think I'm only attractive to the male species these days. My wife might say different, but yeah. I might find my niche.
Right, you can find if you go on Grinder, you can find the bro there as well. And thanks for jumping on, bro. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll get you back on again at some point to have a yarn about the season.
No worries. As I said, it's good talking sometimes, and as I said, I talk to the Eskimo. I think it's a bit of fun, and everyone can have a laugh. And I guess the thing with podcasts, it's not too PC, so you can push the envelope out a wee bit.
Push the boat out and get rescued.
No comment. I'm taking the Fifth Amendment just in case we end up in court.
You know what it takes, and you're ready to dance, to take them all on. You got the measure of your man, and you know that you can go all the way. Give it to him. Yeah, give him a taste. Give it.